Jack Doherty has recently been on a generational internet run, doing pump and dump crypto scams, bullying autistic people, and even getting exposed by his ex for assault and manipulation. It seriously seems like this is the end for Jack. Basically nobody watches him anymore, and it's hard to spot a single positive comment across all of his accounts. I've made many videos on this situation, but today I wanted to go over everything. So let's try to hit 3,000 likes. It takes 2 seconds and it really helps out the video more than you think, and without further ado, let's talk about it.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
So over the past couple days, numerous new allegations have been placed on Jack Doherty, as his ex-girlfriend McKinley Rickardson would go on a podcast and speak out on the hell that she went through when dating Jack. And as bad as you think it could have been, believe me, it was much worse. Everything from being manipulative, sexual assault, and even getting his employees and her addicted to substances. It's safe to say that Jack Doherty is more cooked than he ever has been, and today we're going to be taking a look at everything. No, I wasn't initially going to make a video on this podcast because it is a very sensitive topic and McKinley clearly did go through a lot. However, I realized that a lot of the things I previously covered on this channel were actually confirmed when I watched the entire podcast, and I feel like it's also extremely important to recognize what McKinley went through and also how terrible of a person Jack Doherty actually is. With one of the main points being the manipulation tactics that Jack would use on his own girlfriend. When Jack and McKinley first started dating, McKinley was very adamant that she did not want to do OF, and at the time Jack would even state that that's something that he liked about her, something that he found attractive, and he would even claim it to be wife material. However, over time things would begin to change a lot. Jack would begin to pressure McKinley into creating an OF in some pretty manipulative ways.
He ends up this one night taking me to dinner, and he was like, I want you to come with me. I'm meeting up with my business guy. I'm not saying his name. We end up going. It's a really nice dinner. It's with a bunch of other people I had never met before, but it was this older guy. Jack introduced me to him. We start talking a little bit, and he just brings up, so why don't you have an OnlyFans? This man, he's like in his 40s.
And you've never met him before?
Never had met him before. I was like, well, it kind of caught me off guard, especially like coming from an older man. I was just kind of like, that's the first thing you say to me is, why don't you have an OnlyFans? I was like, it's against my morals. That's all I said. I was like, it's just the way I was raised. Like, that's something not in the cards for me. And I'm firm on that. And he said, fuck your morals.
Now this is really strange considering the fact that McKinley said that Jack was the one person throughout their entire relationship early on that supported the fact that she didn't want to do OF. So it's really weird how Jack would take her on a business meeting where there are people literally saying fuck your morals and asking her why she doesn't have an OF yet, as if it's just a normal thing to do. If I had to guess, Jack probably told them to ask McKinley that question and persuade her down the path of creating an OF. And even though McKinley was still saying that she 100% didn't want to do it at the time, it's safe to say that Jack wasn't having it.
I'll never forget this night. Michelle walked into the bathroom I was in. I was by myself, and she basically told me, listen, don't freak out, but Jack really wants you to start OnlyFans, and he said that there's no reason for you guys to be together if you're not helping. I broke down in tears. I was like, wow. Everything that he had said to me, like, oh, I know you're my wife because you don't have one, and getting me to go to dinner and try to get me on OnlyFans, but it didn't work. Now it's an ultimatum. He wanted me, when he realized he didn't have the control over me when it came to other people and like what they could say, he realized that he did need to create an ultimatum for me. And that was hard for me, and he knew that. He knew what I felt and how I felt about him and the whole situation, and I cried, and I was like, let me talk to Jack. Like, I just need to talk to him. I was thinking, you know, if I go and talk to him and just say, you know, this is how I feel about this, like, he'll respect it again. And like, if he sends me home and doesn't want to be with me because of this, then like, I guess it is what it is. But I didn't want to lose that. And that was what I was like prioritizing. It wasn't what I could make on OnlyFans. I had no idea. I had no idea how much money you could make on OnlyFans. I just knew that I really liked this guy. But I remember walking into the room that he was in. He was alone also with one of his employees, and I walked in and they just start laughing because Jack had never brought up OnlyFans to me, so it was like,
because he made everyone else do it.
Very awkward. Yeah, he made everyone else do it. It's sad looking back on it because that was something I respected. I was like, I respect the fact that he cares about my beliefs and he understands that. After talking to him, I was explaining how this is not in the cards for me, Jack. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, my parents, like, I can't even imagine what they would think if I did this. And he was like, your parents are gonna get over it. Like, they're gonna realize how much money you're gonna make. And I was like, am I though? Like, I had no idea. I was like, am I gonna make money? I don't know. And they were like, you are going to be very well off. They were like, this is going to be the biggest success ever. And Jack was telling me, he was like, you're gonna be, you know, my main girl. Like, we can post together, we can finally act like boyfriend and girlfriend, we can start doing things together, and like it's not reasonable for you to be in my life if you're not involved in my life.
It really just seemed like this was the final straw for Jack. To be honest, knowing the guy, he's probably been plotting this from the very beginning and manipulating this girl into think that, you know, he's her safety net. He can take care of her physically and emotionally and all of these things, whenever in the end he didn't actually care about her. He didn't actually care about her beliefs or anything like that. He just wanted to use her and mentally abuse her to be his eventual content girlfriend. And unfortunately, that would be the ultimate outcome.
I tried to shut down the conversation and I just agreed to it. And in my head, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'll have a conversation with him tomorrow and I'll just be like, listen, I've been thinking about it. I can't do it. Like, that's where my head was at. But I just literally, I wanted to stop the conversation. I was so uncomfortable. I had Michelle and his other employee and him just like telling me how successful it's gonna be. And you know, that was something that I didn't know for sure. I didn't know if like I would start it and then like, you know, my parents would never speak to me again. I was fully preparing myself for that. I woke up and that morning he had a contract in hand and he told me to sign it. I didn't even have the opportunity to talk to my parents about it or for any legal representation. He gave me the contract and he basically just said sign it. I read through it and I didn't like how it said, you know, he owns all of my social media accounts, because again, I had a following. I had 500,000 followers on TikTok. I had over 100K on Instagram. That was something I had built for years. And that was something that I held very close to me. So I was like, I just want to make sure, like, in this contract, do you actually own all of my accounts, even the ones that I have? And then he was like, no, the contract means nothing. Like, we can change anything, but it's whatever, just sign it. So I signed it, and then first words that came out of his mouth were, "You're now Jack Doherty's girlfriend."
This guy's the biggest fucking scumbag on planet Earth. This guy literally manipulated McKinley and then lied straight to her face as she was signing basically her entire life away on this contract. And guys, if you really think about it, he emotionally abused her into signing this by acting like her girlfriend for I think the past year prior to this, to where now he has complete control over all of her social media accounts, and he's likely taking literally all of her money that she's gonna make from OF and paying her a small portion. And by the way, what makes all of this even worse is that he would even begin putting content before her physical well-being by putting her in very dangerous situations. As I'm sure most of you guys remember the golf cart clip, whenever he flipped a golf cart and she was critically injured, to which he would just brush it off and continue streaming, and in the hospital go see her and begin filming her saying tons of outlandish things.
He flipped an entire golf cart on top of me on purpose, and it was for a clip. I know that because he was trying his best to flip it. And you can see in the footage, the only thing that he was looking for was the camera to see if they got it.
Oh, fuck.
I was in so much pain. He thought it was not that big of a deal. I was like, Jack, I need to go to the hospital. I was crying. I couldn't even walk. My back was so bruised up, and like my whole entire spine was just bruised. And my neck, it had hit my neck. It literally could have killed me. The way it fell on top of me, it fell on my side. The back of the cart went at the back of my neck, and I crunched over, and then it hit my back. He said that he thought it broke my neck. And I'm like, if you really thought that, and you're like not worried about me, that's insane. When I'm on the way in the Uber and I'm sitting upright, I'm realizing like this is bad. Like, I'm in pain. I definitely need to do something. And I walk into the house, everyone is there. They looked at me and were like, we need to go to the hospital, like, we'll go with you. So they were kind enough and realized, you know, they watched it live and they were really pissed off at him for acting that way and, you know, not caring about my well-being and not making sure I was okay. And when I went, Jack had met me there and he had a camera. I was so embarrassed because I'm like, I'm in the hospital, you're filming all of these things. He was like, you're the baddest one in the hospital on video. And I was like, I'm just not in the mood for this. But he was filming and they gave me medicine and I went back home. I was in bed for about a week and, you know, I was back to normal. But his joke, I guess, of everything, he bought a golf cart the day after it happened. and then surprised me with it for a video, and it was like all just a joke and funny to him.
This is borderline just criminal activity, and genuinely is just abuse on so many different levels. I genuinely don't get why McKinley would decide to stay with Jack after this point, knowing the kind of things he said about her and the things that he did to her. Like, not only did he flip the golf cart, but he also brought cameras in the hospital whenever she clearly didn't want to be filmed, and just publicly humiliated her. She most likely just had to stay with him because she was still under contract, but it still doesn't disregard the things that he put her through. And debatably, things would only continue to get worse from here. In some of my previous videos, I did cover the golf cart clip, but I also went over the instance of McKinley being robbed, as Jack and his crew would be in a giant bus in the middle of Compton doing a takeover, and McKinley would decide to stay in the bus, which would ultimately get broken into by a guy with a gun, a ski mask, and also a giant bag. McKinley stated that she thought she was actually going to die in this situation, and Jack seemed to be more interested in posting content about it than actually caring for McKinley.
What'd they do? What the fuck? Got robbed?
Yeah.
Wait, what'd he do?
I don't know.
Wait, did he take your stuff?
I think.
What the fuck?
No, I said where's my baggies to get your fucking bag.
He took your purse?
I don't know.
McKinley, where?
Oh my God.
Where's the key? Where's the key? Okay.
But that was the most real trauma ever. Like, it was a noise that had never came out of me before. I was freaking out. Jack was, yelling at me. He was like, what happened? What happened? And I'm like shaking. I'm like, I can't even like explain what happened. I don't know. And it was obviously very, very traumatic for me. And I was like, please shut the cameras off. Like, I cannot, like, please take me off this camera. And he refused.
Live.
But I just started it.
Like, why?
Because this is like fucking great.
Everything's great content for you.
But
I
it
just
happened.
fucking died.
But you're alive. Let's share the story. Come on, I thought you agreed
Fuck
to.
you.
You're
for
gonna
thinking that's okay.
tomorrow though. You're gonna be so happy
But,
we
like,
recorded this. You know that.
Maybe record it, but going live again.
Because it
right
gets
now,
clipped. You're gonna see it on TikTok.
It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't
does.
fucking matter.
I'm doing
For
this.
once, please. I'm asking, please.
If we record it, it makes it easier.
He refused to shut off the camera. He refused to stop his live stream. He was laughing about it, saying like, well, you're gonna wake up tomorrow and like you're gonna wake up to all these TikToks and like these viral clips. And I'm like, Jack, I don't care. I'm like, everything is content. Like, I don't know what isn't anymore. Like, even this, like, you can't just feel a little bit of empathy for me after going through that. And he continued his live stream. He didn't listen to me. And I was like, what more does it take for you to just respect me? And what happened to you? What happened to the guy that made me feel safe in the beginning? Like, this was horrible. And now you don't care. And I realized in that moment, I was like, this man doesn't fucking care about me. You don't care.
After watching this entire podcast, I feel like it's just so apparent that Jack never actually cared about McKinley. Well, maybe he did, but he only cared about her in a way that he could benefit himself. He emotionally manipulated this girl into becoming his girlfriend just so he can use her for content, and also force her to sell her soul to OF. I've seen a lot of people saying, well, why didn't she just leave the situation? Or it's her own fault for even associating herself with Jack Doherty. But maybe she really didn't know the kind of person Jack Doherty was going into meeting him. Maybe she actually fell in love with this guy and trusted that he had the right intentions for her. But obviously that's not the case whatsoever. Obviously we have to also consider the fact that she was lying in this situation, which even though I personally don't believe she was lying, I mean, none of this stuff has actually been proved, so we have to say that it's alleged. However, in part 2, things would get a lot more personal. She would show private videos and text messages between her and Jack from the lowest points of their relationship. Jack would constantly be yelling at her for the simplest reasons, and in some scenarios would even put his hands on her for not doing exactly what he says.
You make my life harder, I'm sorry. It's like, I have to carry you through life, and it's like, you're my girlfriend. I have things I have to do every day, so you're supposed to help me through it. You should be so helpful with it. You should make your own videos all day long, and I was able to do my own thing, help everyone else with their stuff. I have to just help me and you now. It's a me and you game now. It's a full-time job.
I want to do that though.
So why don't you do it? Like, what's stopping you? I get my shit done every day. I post every day. I stream every day. I can't rely on you guys every day. That's why I do my own thing.
And
no good morning?
No good morning.
Oh, okay.
No, it was, do you see what time it is? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to get up. I'm sorry. I just, like, I didn't feel good. I was really tired. He was like, look at you. He's like, you can't even do basic fucking things like wake up at 8 a.m. He's like, I am who I am surrounding myself with, and it's you. And I'm turning into you, and it's horrible. You're a lazy, useless piece of shit.
It became clear after this point that Jack wasn't only using manipulation tactics on McKinley, it was borderline emotional abuse. If we're being honest, Jack really didn't have to yell at McKinley in this situation, especially enough to make her cry. If he actually loved and cared about her, he would have sat down and talked to her about it, but he didn't. He decided to yell at her to the point where she broke down in tears, and unfortunately, things were only going to get much worse, as McKinley would describe an instance that would happen after she talked back to Jack in a particular way, and this is when she realized she was in a lot of trouble.
I remember all I said to him was, if I'm so fucking useless, then why do you take all my money? That's all I said. And that enraged him. He was furious. He stormed over to me. He was like, you stupid fucking He's like, you're not grateful for shit. He was like, I should have never given you a fucking chance. And I'm brushing my teeth. I'm crying. There are tears coming down my face. And he comes right here and he's like, you're a stupid fucking spitting on me. He literally, I could feel the fucking spit come off of his mouth because of how close he was to my face, screaming in my ear. And he pushes me as hard as he can into the wall. And I caught myself in my arm, which I have a picture of the bruise from the day after. He pushes me and I caught myself, and he told me, he was like, oh, you flopped. He's like, stop flopping. I was like, I did not flop. I said, don't you ever fucking put your hands on me. Ever. Ever. And he was like, I didn't fucking put my hands on you. You flopped. He was like, I don't give a fuck. You flopped. So I walked outside to the outside balcony after. But before I could even like do anything or text my parents, he came outside and he was like, you're just so annoying, like, to deal with. I'm trying so hard not to punch you in the fucking face. I'm trying so hard. It's taking everything in me not to fucking punch you in the stupid face. And he's grabbing his fist. He's red as fuck. His eye, it was not the normal Jack I was so used to. It was so like completely different. And I was terrified in that moment. I was so scared. I didn't know if he was about to beat the shit out of me. We had guns. He would always make jokes and say, like, I'm like, should we just ourselves? Like, I'll just you, I'll me, like, just ourselves. I didn't know. He was so enraged. I didn't know what he was capable of, so I just knew I needed to leave the situation. I needed to get out.
Now, this allegation is absolutely insane, and I obviously have to say it's an allegation for legal reasons, but I do believe that Jack would do something like this. We have to remember who Jack is, the stuff he's done in the past, and the things that he's currently doing. Not only is Jack a drug addict, but he's also the worst version of a public nuisance. Someone who goes up to random people on the street and threatens to be violent with them. Knowing this, acting this way towards McKinley just seems like something Jack would do, and knowing the people who surround him, no one would probably even care. And even if they did care, they'd be too scared to call Jack out for it. In fact, McKinley would even state that at one point she began feeling sick, so she would go on to get a pregnancy test and it would come back positive twice. Even though she was obviously mortified to be pregnant with this person's baby, Jack would be more excited about making a family YouTube channel and farming his newborn for views.
I ordered the pregnancy test, I took it, and I set it aside. I'm like, you know what, I don't think this is why I feel this way. I'm really hoping it's not. I wasn't expecting anything, and it was positive. And in that moment, I realized, like, wow, like, not only, I wasn't preparing myself for this, but with where we're at in our relationship and how I feel and like how he treats me, like, that's all that came to my mind. It was no happy thought at all. But I was terrified, and I had another pregnancy test, and I was like, surely to goodness it was a false one. Like, let me take another one. I took another one and instantly positive. I was like, wow, like it's real. Like this is real. My life is over. Like that's all I was thinking. I was like, my life is done. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. My parents are going to kill me. I even felt bad for, you know, even just the fact that I had that, and I'm, you know, actively taking Adderall. I was actively drinking. I was like, I had no idea. I go downstairs and Jack is outside, and I was like, Jack, I need to talk to you. And I told him, and he didn't seem surprised whatsoever. He was like, W. He literally was excited over the fact that we were going to make the most money we have ever made in our lives. It wasn't because he was excited to have a baby with me and have a family and start a new era of our life. It was, oh my gosh, we're going to start a family YouTube channel, and you're going to make so much money when you're pregnant and you have a pregnant belly. And I remember looking at him and I was like, Jack, you do not realize if this is happening, I'm done. I'm not doing OnlyFans. I'm not doing that. And I don't want to be on social media, and we need to change our lives. Like, here we are, you know, we're living in this house. There's drugs. There's random people coming into our house all the time. It's not safe. What he does for a living, like he streams, he's always in chaos. I was like, there needs to be some sort of lifestyle change. Like, I don't know if you're ready for that. And he was like, it doesn't have to be a lifestyle change. Like, people have babies when they're broke. Like, we're good. Like, we're going to make so much more money when we have a baby. So, you know, he's excited about it. I'm still terrified, but in this moment, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have it. Like, there's really nothing I can do about it. He seems excited, so I was like, well, maybe I'll see a different side of him and he'll step up. And, like, this will be the time I actually see Jack become a man and, like, respect me, and maybe this is the answer. He ends up going to the club, and he was, you know, making jokes about how he wanted to cheat on me, and now that I'm pregnant and can't do anything, that this is his time to get another bitch pregnant. That way he can keep me and keep her and just have me be there, because no one would fuck with me if I had Jack Doherty's baby. That's what he would say to me. So while he's saying these things to me, and I'm already, you know, going through how I feel about the situation already, I'm like, this is a horrible situation to be in. He's trapping me. He's literally telling me that as soon as I have a baby, he's going to move on from me and try to have a baby with somebody else, and I'm just there.
Now, as you could imagine, things would only go on to get worse from this point. Jack and his friends would actively do drugs in front of McKinley, and obviously she didn't want to because she's pregnant. Not to mention the obvious emotional and physical abuse he puts her through on a daily basis. She obviously wouldn't end up going through with the pregnancy, however, that would only make things worse for her. The manipulation tactics Jack used throughout their entire relationship were worse than we all imagined, as McKinley would also leak screenshots from a situation of Jack lying blackout drunk on a casino floor, guilt-tripping her after they got in a major argument.
He FaceTimed me randomly without talking to me about, you know, what had happened. He just FaceTimes me like nothing's wrong. He's drunk on the casino floor. I texted him, I said, I'm packing up my stuff now, have fun, I'm going home. He goes, no, why can't you answer my calls? You make me so sad. And I said, you make me so sad. He said, I don't want to make you sad, I want to make you happy. Please don't leave. I'm so sad I lost you and I just lost 10K. Please love me. I said, you're totally fine. Then he said, can you answer please? I'm not live, I just love you. I'm by myself. I said, Jack, you're drunk on the casino floor. He said, please answer me, I'm by myself. I end up calling him. He's not by himself. He lied to me. And then Bryce, he was with Bryce Hall. Bryce was like, are you still mad at him? So he had literally been talking about how I was upset with him over something he caused, created, and he was making jokes about. He was making jokes about how we got a divorce the day we got married, and people knew we were fighting. So I was like, that's so crazy. I'm struggling so much. Why don't you see it? You don't love me. I said, you always say you wish I was the girl you met in the beginning, and what you fail to realize is that you created how I am from that point forward. There's not a single thing I have changed about myself other than constantly begging for respect and love from you, which is the bare minimum from any relationship. You disrespect me constantly. You disrespect my family. You disrespect my opinions. You disrespect my time and my feelings. How am I supposed to feel the love you claim to have and feel for me while you do those things? You are so right. I don't want to argue anymore. There is absolutely nothing I can do to be better in your eyes, and what I can't get over is even though I gave you 99.9% and left myself with nothing, you never saw it. I wanted to see if you could prove something to me today, and sadly I'm just disappointed again, and I'm not fighting with you. I never want to, and you knew that from me in the beginning. I sat here by myself for hours and hours holding on to hope I just don't feel like is even there. My 100% might not be your 100%. You have to understand that no matter how much money you have, or views you get, or other things you want in your life that I apparently failed to give you, my 100% was so genuine and so innocent. Imagine how you would feel in my shoes for a second. Imagine doing all of that for someone who can't even see it. That's all I gotta say at this point. I'm not fighting for anything anymore, and I have accepted everything moving forward. I finally got it and understood like how you always wanted me to. Please be safe. I left your betting slip on the table. Hope you're having fun. He goes, McKinley, no, I love you so much. Please stop. I love you more than anything. I'm coming back right now. I'm not having fun. So I ended up staying. He came back, and I had never seen this side of Jack before. And this was the night I fell in love with him all over again. It was a new side of Jack that I had never seen before. It was everything I needed, the validation. He was in tears, sobbing uncontrollably, and by this time I had never seen him cry. That's something I don't crave out of him. I don't need you to cry for you to care about me, but he was crying at the fact of the possibility of losing me. He was like, I don't think you realize like what I've realized these past 24 hours of not hearing from you and not being there is that you matter. Nothing matters. Nothing in this world matters. Money, views, nothing. I need you in my life. I would myself if I lost you. He told me that, and I was just like, wow, like, I mean, we just have to come to an agreement. Like, you can't speak to me and say these things and do these things and be extremely disrespectful and me just, you know, let it happen. Like, I want you to respect me.
In the end, it seems like things would just never get better in this situation, as they would ultimately end up breaking up once again, as we all know. And now we have McKinley speaking about her entire experience with Jack Doherty. For the first time ever, it seems like Jack Doherty is finally getting tired of the hate. As of lately, he's been on a generational run of bullying autistic people for views, doing crypto scams, and rage baiting innocent people in public, just to name a few. However, the other day, he would have the bright idea to break into TwitchCon, where creators would call him out for scamming his viewers and rage bait to the point of him crashing out on camera. And of course, this would all start after Jack not only broke into the convention, but also after he went up to random streamers spamming homophobic and transphobic slurs like they were W's in Kai Cenat's chat.
My brother's gay. The fuck? I kissed two guys at once. How can I be homophobic? You don't know anything. You're just a woman.
You can still be homophobic.
Oh, and what are you? Homosexual?
A reasonable human being.
How am I homophobic? I love my brother.
You're not just hear all the slurs you
So
said?
what was doesn't mean I'm homophobic just because I say I'm homophobic. Faggot. I'm homophobic. And nothing's gonna happen to me. That's the problem. Like, you know what I mean?
She's walking away.
She walked up and flicked you off.
Yeah, you walked up and flipped me off, bro. You have nothing to say to me. I'm not homophobic. Wait, time out. What if I wasn't homophobic? What else do you have to say against to me?
Transphobic, homophobic.
That for sure. None of my family members are trans, so.
Hairline's receding. That's why the curls are on the forehead.
You wish, boy. My dad's 69 and had full head of hair. I need a good comeback. I need something from you. You're full of hate. I need you to have one good, hateful comment on me. Something that makes sense. Something that's true. Because I'm not.
I think he's better looking than you.
Not only was Jack borderline harassing this streamer by following her around, but it was obvious that he wanted some sort of reaction, which obviously she didn't want to give, and she would continue just walking away from him, but he wouldn't stop following. However, things would only continue to get worse from here. As word spread that Jack was at TwitchCon, numerous streamers would begin looking for him. This wasn't only because Jack is a known retard, but he's also done a number of crypto scams over the past few months, promoting sites like Pump Fund, where he created his own token, and used other tokens already on the site, where he would promote them to his audience and then proceed to dump them whenever they reached a high. However, when these streamers would ultimately find Jack, they would confront him about these scams, and Jack wouldn't take it too kindly.
How come you rugged all those meme coins, bro? On Pump Fund. I didn't. What do you mean? You did. You're still streaming? Yeah, I'm live right now. On Pump Fund? Nah, not on Pump Fund, nah. Wait, now's the time. I mean, you took all the money from those like 4 coins. I didn't take money from Look at the charts, boy. You didn't rug them? Nope. It was a straight red candle, bro. No, on every single one of them. No, it wasn't. Nah, no one bought it. You rugged for 6K, though.
Oh, you rugged a coin for 6 grand with a fucking pussy.
It's called TJR. Huh? Who are you going to call? TJR? How many did you run for? 3?
I'm a great.
I think there's 3. Now you're on party.
Tree has no more rugs left in their house. I've taken them all.
You couldn't even move it past 100K. Dude, what happened? Coin couldn't even go past 100K. Zero motion. Jack, let me know when the next coin's dropping. Jack, ECA, please, bro, please.
What you say? What you say?
100K topper.
When you say when my next coin dropping?
Yeah.
Next time I need 6 fucking bandos to.
It's so obvious that Jack did this as a complete scam, and the evidence literally shows on his own Twitter account. Nobody streams on Pump Fun if they aren't doing a crypto pump and dump, let's be honest. And also, it's Jack Doherty we're talking about. The word scam is practically in his fucking name. Regardless, these streamers would then follow Jack around the corner and continue yelling at him until this would happen.
So now? So never?
Not tomorrow.
Okay. Damn, you're that, bro.
Huh?
100K topper.
Wait, what coin you guys looking at?
You think you can pump a coin and pass?
Alright, you're so fucking stupid and retarded. You can't even let me speak, you idiot.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What? Can you speak? You fucking
Damn, bro,
idiot.
you hooked on that one.
Hey, you guys are so fucking dumb. You think I made only 6K?
Damn, you got 6K more. Quad action.
You
fucking
Cash out. Cash out. Cash out. Cash out.
Skate one.
The face of my face on your face.
This is fucking great.
Holy shit, is that Marlon? Is that Marlon?
Oh, the cash out's great.
They have nothing left. They have a rugless
Jack Doherty has
Dude, are you crazy?
100K
Pussy.
Look at that fucking loser, bro.
Jack Doherty can't.
It's so funny how Jack harasses people like this all the time, but whenever it happens to him, he crashes the fuck out. I have more respect for a pebble on the road than I do for Jack Doherty, and that's me just being completely honest. If you agree, then fucking subscribe. If you thought it couldn't get any worse after this though, then you'd still be wrong, because Jack would be so mad from the previous encounter that he would start stealing equipment from other streamers. Kanel Joseph is a popular YouTuber and streamer who would run into Jack near TwitchCon. He would go on to get interviewed by one of Jack's online prostitutes, where he would simply be asked about his thoughts on Jack Doherty. He would say that Jack is a pussy, which would result in Jack trying to confront him, obviously accompanied by his bodyguard.
What are your thoughts on Jack Doherty?
He's a pussy.
Why?
Because it's Jack Doherty, bro. He's a pussy, bro. You have this girl walking around saying, what would you do for Jack Doherty, all this stuff. Bro, no one, no,
and what
look,
did you say?
And I said the same thing I'm doing right now.
You said I'm
in your face right now.
Boy, you ain't do shit.
I'm not gonna fight you though. There's no point. I'm not that mad. But I'm in your face though.
You wouldn't touch me if you wouldn't touch me.
I just did.
I was like, you wouldn't touch me.
No, I'm not gonna fight you. What does that get? That's what you need. That's what you need.
You're a baby. You would not do shit.
I'm a
touch
baby.
me. But I know for a fact you wouldn't put your hands on me.
Bro.
Hey, we got the gloves.
You're gonna get banned on your main income maker right there.
Jack,
Boom.
I got the
Twitch?
gloves.
Twitch is not my main income.
Well, then touch me. Do something.
Why are you stuttering? You nervous?
I'm not. No.
Can I touch your heart?
Yeah, you should.
Damn! Why are you nervous?
Wait.
Why are you nervous?
It's funny how hypocritical Jack is. This is the kind of thing Jack does to random people on the street all the time and he feels like it's okay, but whenever it happens to him, he crashes the fuck out. Jack is truly the pinnacle of degeneracy when it comes to online influencers. Literally nobody likes him, let alone wants to make content with him, and the people who are friends with him only want to use him for content and try to make money off him. And it's so crazy that Jack still hasn't realized it at this point. Jack would even get so mad at Kanel rage baiting him here that he stole one of his expensive microphones. So now, not only is Jack a crypto scammer, but he's also a thief IRL too. Holy shit.
Okay, can I get my mic back? Or like,
I'm looking for it. I actually don't know where it's at, bro. One of the girls has it. She ran away, bro. You shouldn't have been mean to her.
so the other girl took it.
Someone did, bro.
You're right, bro. You corny, bro. You know how corny you are, bro. I really do feel bad for you.
I'm corny. You won't stop coming up to me.
Bro, you're not giving your mic back. Whoa, come on, bro.
That's
what I'm saying.
Give back the mic. Who has the mic?
You wonder why a lot of people don't like you. You do weird shit like that. Like, look, if you punch me, if you did a lot of, if you did all this, look, if you did all this,
shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut up when I talk. Shut up when I talk. I was trying to get your fucking mic back.
No, I'm just giving you a lesson. No, I'm just giving you a lesson. It's weird. Like, bro, it's like some little man-child shit. You taking a mic. Like, I'm not gonna fight over a mic. Like, bro, he's stealing a mic. Like, that's not a good clip. Like, if you did anything else, that'd have been a good clip. But like, bro, these are your little slaves. Bro, these are your little slaves, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, you come on, bro. Bro, you control them. Look, they're not talking. Look, hey, listen, you can tell them what to do. I'm not talking to girls. No, I'm just saying, look, No, I'm not fighting. I'm just saying you tell them what to do.
Don't tell them to do something.
So just tell them to give my mic back. Like you say, bro, you control them. 99 split, like 1%. You get Come on, bro. It's just weird. Look, you can do anything else, but like come on. You even know that's like some petty shit. Taking a mic, that's not like it low-key makes you look lame, bro.
Don't talk to my client like that. Seriously, stop.
In the end, it seems like Jack is never going to be able to beat the retard allegations. Bro's cultivated a fan base and career off of being a degenerate, nuisance to society, and literally no one at this point even wants to associate with him. And the only people that do want to associate with him only want to hate on him. Although, Jack would also be on stream with Joshua Block, someone who's frequently in his streams and is a known autistic person. Now, Jack and his goons would begin rage baiting Josh, trying to get him mad because obviously they think it's good content, until Josh would ultimately crash out on them after they would continuously verbally abuse this autistic man.
Josh, please shut up. You better stop or I'm gonna beat your touch me. Touch me. Touch me. Touch me. Touch me. You're on. It's on now. Grab my phone. Grab my phone. Grab my phone. Yeah. Touch me. Touch me. Touch me. Touch me. Touch me. You apologize now or you're gonna... No. Bro, stop. You touch me, I promise you. I promise you, I'm not sparing you. What you have, do not touch me. I'll pull a on you. Come on, guys, let's go. The pull, bro.
Of course, Jack's laughing in this situation. Like, this is genuinely such a toxic environment for someone like Josh Block. He's constantly being pressured into these situations, getting into fights with people like the fucking Island Boys, and no one is going up trying to stop them. Jack and his goons would continue to try to get Josh mad until he would literally put his own life in jeopardy. Jack's girlfriend was rage baiting Josh to the point where he would throw his ice cream at her and run in the middle of the street.
You apologize! You apologize now!
It's delicious.
You better!
Josh, violence.
Want to fight?
Josh, chill.
You want to fight?
Josh, stop.
Why would you do it?
No.
Josh,
Josh,
stop. No. Stop all that. Stop, Josh, stop. Stop. Josh.
I don't get paid enough!
Josh, stop.
It's just such a toxic environment for someone like Josh, bro. And it's so clear that Jack just does not give a single fuck. If anything, he's encouraging this behavior, trying to make Josh mad because he thinks that that content is funny, when in reality, he's just using someone else's disability for views. In fact, things would only continue to get worse, as later on stream, Jack would be doing a PDF file catch. And in this whole situation, he'd be basically using Josh as these girls' quote-unquote younger brother, which, let's be honest, can be a very dangerous situation depending on who this guy is.
Josh, ready? There's a guy coming here, right, to meet, because he thinks he's gonna meet with Isabel and this other girl, right? And he thinks that he's right? He wants to meet up with two girls, right? So you're gonna play their brother, all right? And when he comes here, we're gonna let you go into the room, and you just gotta walk around, like maybe be like, "Where's the remote? Where's the remote?" You know? Try to kick it with them and watch TV, and you know, all right? And just pretend like nothing's happening, all right? You got that?
We're gonna bring it out after.
But don't say anything about him being like, all right? He probably shouldn't say that, or should he? Maybe like
no, you're gonna be undercover. You're gonna be undercover.
Yeah, be undercover. Don't
he likes
just be. You just want to watch TV. Today. You just gotta be like this. Where's the remote? Where's the remote? You know,
but Josh, when we're in the room, you gotta be quiet. You gotta be quiet, okay?
Okay.
Until you're out in the room, you can do whatever you want.
It seemed like Josh didn't understand what was going on, and if anything, he didn't even want to be a part of this situation. And I'm not one to necessarily throw accusations around, but I feel like I can make an exception for this one time. I could see Jack definitely, you know, paying Josh off to be a part of this entire thing because, you know, he thinks it'll be funny, or maybe even just forcing Josh to be a part of this catch. But regardless, it's still just a fucked up situation. Like, if this man is an actual PDF file, as they say he is, assuming, you know, this entire thing isn't just a big script, Josh could seriously be hurt if he goes on to say something out of line. This guy could have guns, knives, or any sort of weapon if this is a real situation. But regardless, this entire thing would just continue to get worse, as Josh would seriously hurt himself and Jack's crew would do nothing about it.
He's fine, he got that, he noted it, we're good.
Oh! Ah! Ah! My nose! I think it's fractured! I don't have insurance!
Look at this fucking Jack guy, bro, trying his ass not to laugh.
Give me a hug.
Give me a hug.
You're fine. You're fine.
I think I broke my nose!
Let's get him some water.
What happened?
Do you need ice? It's okay, bro. Do you need ice?
No.
No?
What happened?
I don't know. I guess the door was shut. I guess the door was shut.
Ah!
Stop.
It's all your fault.
No. It's not TikTok's fault. It's not TikTok's fault.
Why did I slam it?
I don't know.
There's a guy here to me.
Come on, lock in.
Yeah, Josh, lock the fuck in, bro. You're still a part of this, remember? I'm still paying you for this, Josh.
Step out of it. Door's open.
Step out of it. You're good. Come on.
No, I broke my nose.
Your nose is perfectly fine. I swear to God, it's fine.
I can't afford the hospital. I don't have insurance.
There's a guy here. Ow, on my chest.
I can't afford the hospital. I have no insurance.
I can't afford it either. But hey, we're gonna get through this together.
I want to move to Europe.
We will move.
I want my universal health care.
It's so bad that Jack is just continuing to make this guy be a part of the content, even though he's so clearly in distress. Like, even though he's most definitely fine, and his nose isn't broken or fractured, you still have to treat someone with autism with more care than you would a normal person. But Jack is continuing to make Josh be a part of this video that, let's be honest, he probably didn't want to be a part of in the first place. And that's an actual dangerous situation for him. Like, what if this guy that's coming to meet these young girls is a violent person and, you know, Josh says something out of line? Then Josh could actually get really hurt. Like, what if he had a fucking gun or knife or something, bro? Genuinely, anything is possible in this situation. It's so clear, though, that basically every streamer hates Jack Doherty, with many of them constantly speaking out against him, including majority of FaZe Clan, and even Aiden Ross, who would literally get him banned out of a Miami nightclub. This tweet is honestly the best way to sum this whole situation up. Negative rage bait helps gain temporary views and engagement, but people avoid that content in the long run. Jason is right.
People hating, that doesn't mean people watch you. That means they dislike you. They spread hate. Yep, they spread hate.
People who hate spread hate. You guys are still getting your name out, so then people would look into you guys. And then,
not really. I mean, look at Jack fucking Doherty. People know him, but nobody fucking watches him because he's a fucking loser.
Overall, though, let me know your thoughts on this situation in the comments down below. Drop a like for more videos just like this. I haven't made a video on Jack Doherty in quite a while, but I've been seeing clips about this all over the place, and people have been telling me to make a video on this specific situation, so I decided to go ahead and do it. So, thank you all so much for watching today's video. It's been your boy Janke, and I'm out. Peace.